What's up? Hello, everybody. This is Kendra with Signing Agent Basics. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about whether or not I believe signing agents should explain loan documents. But before I get into all of that, first of all, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your Saturday afternoon to hang out with me here on this live stream, whether you're watching it on YouTube, whether you're watching it on Facebook in the Facebook group, whether you are watching it live or whether you are watching it on the replay. I'm excited to hang out with you guys today. So, guys, do me a favor. Before we even get started, whether you are watching this live, whether you are watching this on the replay, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell. I am thinking about doing monthly live streams, guys, answering some different questions and going over different topics. I know you don't want to miss it. So the way to make sure that you don't miss out is to make sure you hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell. The next thing, guys, that I really want y'all to do for me, because I'm always like really curious as to where you guys are. Believe it or not, even though I've been on YouTube for a couple of years now, it still blows my mind the number of people from all over the country who come and watch these videos. So do me a favor, guys, in the chat, tell me what city and state you are in, and then tell me whether or not you are an aspiring signing agent, a new signing agent, or a veteran signing agent. So an aspiring signing agent is someone who has not done any loan signings yet. Maybe you're just thinking about becoming a signing agent, just trying to check it out and see what this whole signing agent thing is about. If you are a new signing agent, you've been doing signings for a year or less. Or if you are a veteran signing agent, you have been doing signings for more than a year. And I already see Killeen, Texas in the house. I grew up in Killeen. I see Jacksonville, Florida in the house. I was actually born in Jacksonville. Las Vegas, Cleveland. I see Idaho. I see all kinds of stuff. So guys, whether you are watching this live or whether you are watching this on the replay, again, go ahead, tell me the city and state and whether you are an aspiring, new, or veteran signing agent. And yes, I already know people are going to ask, is there going to be a replay? Yes, pretty much as soon as this live stream is over, the replay is going to be available on my YouTube channel. So yes, there will absolutely be a replay. So you can come back through and look at this information if you want. All right, so now there is going to be a Q&A session at the end, guys, but here's the deal. I have some information that I want to make sure that I get through. So I'm not really going to answer a whole lot of questions until we get to the end and I open it up for Q&A. So do me a favor. I know you guys have got questions. Hang on to those questions. I know they're going to be good. Hang on to those questions until the end. That way I'll be able to see as many as possible. If you ask them during the presentation, it's going to get lost to me a little bit in the feed because look, guys, it's just me. I don't have anybody helping me moderate. It is just me. So if you would, wait until the end to the Q&A session. The other thing I want to point out, guys, is that I am only going to be answering questions that are about the subject of this video, which is whether or not I believe signing agents should explain loan documents. So again, guys, please do me a favor. Make sure that the questions that you ask are about that subject. If you ask a question about a different subject, I probably won't answer it. So please make sure that your questions are about the subject of this video. And then depending on how many questions there are, because you guys usually have really good questions, I may or may not be able to answer all of the questions during the video, but I am going to go back after the live has ended. And if there's really good questions that I've missed, guys, I'm going to try to answer them in the comments and in the chat. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys is that this whole video is going to be my opinion based off of my 15 years of experience as a signing agent, and also really my 7 years of mortgage experience that I had before that. So you guys may have heard this saying. I've cleaned it up a little bit since I'm on YouTube, but opinions are like rear ends. Everybody has one, and they usually stink. So, again, guys, this is just my opinion. You may have heard another signing agent, YouTube personality, or social media influencer give a totally different opinion, and that is totally okay. There is no necessarily right or wrong answer per se about this. One of the great things about being a signing agent is that we all get to run our signing agent business in the way that we want and in the way that works for us. So, again, guys, there's really no right or wrong answer to this question per se. But I will say this: the market will determine if what you are doing is reasonable or not. So, if you feel one particular type of way, and if you operate your business that way, but then you don't really get any business and you're not getting paid what you want to get paid, then the market is basically telling you, you're not giving us what we want. So, again, no right or wrong. I'm not here to argue with anyone. I'm not here to say that anybody else's opinion on this subject is wrong. I just want to give you my opinion. And I know that this may especially be helpful to a lot of the new and aspiring signing agents who are coming in and they honestly have no clue. So hopefully this video will, again, enlighten you on what I think about this subject, and it'll help you to form your own opinion about the subject. So, with that being said, along with the other things that I asked you guys to tell me down in the chat, I need you guys to promise me that you are not going to get mad at me. Again, I'm not saying any of this stuff to try to upset anyone. I'm not saying anything to say that anyone else is wrong. I don't want anyone to be upset. This is just my opinion and information that honestly I truly believe will help you to improve your signing agent business. So look at him. Don't be getting mad at me. So promise me in the chat that you are not going to get mad at me. All right, I see some promises down there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Yes, guys, because look, I really do want to help each and every one of you learn. And a lot of times we can learn from the knowledge, the opinions, and the experiences of others, especially those people who have been doing it for a while. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. All right. So, before I get into the meat and potatoes of the question, like my channel is called Signing Agent Basics, you guys know I always like to start with the basics. So I'm going to start with some really clear definitions and explanations of some other things before I get to the main subject. Because I don't know about you guys, but one of the things that I have seen when people have disagreements, a lot of times the problem is that they have not gotten a base understanding of certain things. They may be using the same words, but one person may define something one way and the other person may define something a different way. And so while they think that they are discussing or having a disagreement about the same thing, they're really thinking two totally different things. So I really want to give you guys from the very beginning a breakdown of some terms that I think will help us as we decide later on through this discussion whether or not signing agents should explain documents. So I've got this pyramid up here, guys. I think you guys can all see it. At the bottom of this pyramid, we've got notary public. A lot of new signing agents come in and they're always wondering. It's a question that I get a lot. I actually have a video about it on YouTube. What's the difference between a notary public, a mobile notary, and a signing agent? And again, if you're new, I totally understand the confusion. So I'm going to give some definitions of those terms. So first of all, guys, a notary public is an official of integrity appointed by state government to serve the public as an impartial witness in performing a variety of official fraud deterrent acts related to the signing of important documents. A notary public verifies a person's identity, and then they verify their willingness to sign a particular document. So that is what a notary public is. And if we look back at our pyramid, that is the base of the pyramid. You can't be a mobile notary or a signing agent without first being a notary public. So then our next thing is mobile notary. So what is a mobile notary? A mobile notary is a notary public who will travel to the signer. Their duties may also include printing out documents and returning or shipping signed and notarized documents somewhere else if requested. So that's what a mobile notary is. They're a notary public, but they do a little bit more. They go to the signer and they perform a few other acts. All right, so that was the middle of our pyramid. The top of the pyramid was loan signing agent. They're also called signing agents. They're also called certified signing agents. They're also called notary signing agents. But if there's a signing agent in there, this definition is for signing agents. So a signing agent is a mobile notary public who has additional loan or mortgage document training. That is why that term loan signing agent is different than just notary public, and it is different than just mobile notary. So again, guys, looking back at our pyramid, each part builds upon the other. At the very bottom, the biggest part, the base, level one, is notary public. And I do want to stop right here, guys, and just kind of really stress. In order for you to be a good mobile notary, in order for you to be a good signing agent, it all starts first with being a good notary public. What's a good notary public? A good notary public knows and follows their state notary laws. You need to know your state notary law for yourself in order to be a good notary public. All right, you guys said y'all weren't gonna get mad at me, so I'm gonna say something that may make a few people mad, but y'all promised me you weren't gonna get mad. Guys, if you have to go to a Facebook group to ask other people how to fill out a notary certificate, I don't consider that a good notary public. The information that you need to fill out notary certificates, the information that you need as far as what ID you can accept, the information that you need to find out whether or not you can use credible witnesses, all of those answers are found in your state notary law. And in order to be a good notary public, you have to be able to look up and find those answers in your state notary law for yourself. Whew, okay, I felt some arrows coming at me. I ducked them. Y'all promised me you weren't going to get mad. And again, this is just my opinion, but seriously, guys, I really truly believe that the most important thing is you need to know and follow your state notary law for yourself. Bookmark your Secretary of State's office or whatever government office it is that handles notaries public. Get yourself a notary law handbook or a notary law primer. If there are classes offered in your state for your state notary law, take them. This is the most important part of being a notary public. I'm going to get off that subject for now. I might do another video about it later, but very first and most important thing is to be a good notary public. So then the next level, the next step up is mobile notary. But again, before you can be a mobile notary, you have to be a good notary public. Notary public is the foundation. Once you have become a good notary public, then step up, do the next step. You can become a mobile notary. Let me also back up and say, guys, There is no time frame that it takes to become a good notary public. You also do not have to do a certain number of general notary work notarizations to be a good notary public. I can count probably on my fingers, so less than 10 times that I have done general notary work notarizations. I became a notary public. I learned and studied my state notary law simply to become a signing agent. So you don't have to do general notary work to become a good notary public. But what you do have to do is be good at studying your state notary law and looking up answers in your state notary law. So, again, from Notary Public. Then we've got mobile notary. And the biggest difference between a mobile notary and just notary public is that the mobile notary will go to the signers. As a notary public, normally the public comes to you. As a mobile notary, you go to them. And then you can also offer additional things like printing out documents for them, shipping documents back, that kind of thing. So that's the difference between a mobile notary and the notary public. And then level 3, loan signing agent. You gotta have that knowledge of mortgage loan documents. Because here's the deal, guys. If you don't have that knowledge of mortgage loan documents, you're not a signing agent. You're a mobile notary, and you may be a great mobile notary, but you're not a signing agent. All right, I'm gonna move on. Again, I'm starting to duck a little bit, bob and weave, because I'm feeling it coming through the screen. All right, so let me go back one. So the other thing I want to show, though, guys, is that even though each of these levels is important, even though each of these levels have specialized skills, the market pays more the more skill that you have and the more services that you are able to provide. So these are just totally fake numbers next to this pyramid, guys. I'm not saying that as a notary public, you should charge $50 for anything. I'm just kind of giving you an example, but you can kind of look at it visually this way. Notary public, while a notary public is a skilled person, they are a skilled official, it's still the bottom of the pyramid. It's the lowest level of service. So let's say notary public service gets paid $50. But then when you move up to the next level, mobile notary, you're adding more services. You're adding more quality to your offering. And so since you're giving more, guess what? You can expect to receive more. So again, when you move up to that mobile notary level, let's pretend we're bumping up $50 on what we can get. Then when you go up to the next level, loan signing agent, you've got more skills added. So that's why you're able to charge more money. But again, guys, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about that. And yes, I see some questions. Thank you guys for holding your questions to the end. I need to stay focused because if not, I'll go off on a tangent and never get to what I'm supposed to talk about. So thank you for holding your questions to the end. Okay, so the next thing that I want to give you know, a definition of is the difference between the words explain and describe, because I think that this is also where there's a lot of confusion when people talk about whether or not signing agents should explain documents. So a simple definition of the word explain is to give the reason for or cause of. When you explain, you are answering why. So, guys, think back to when you guys were kids. Maybe this wasn't you. Maybe I was the only kid that didn't always do what I was supposed to do. But let's say, for example, you got a bad grade on a report card. Your parents would come to you and say, explain to me why you got a C, and you got to tell them why your grade was that low. Or your parents may have told you to wash the dishes and you didn't. And they're going to say, I need you to explain to me why you didn't wash the dishes. And you have to give them an explanation as to why you did not do what you were supposed to. So explain, think of that as why, giving a reason why. Now, another word, and this is probably the more accurate word that we should be using when we're talking about being a loan signing agent, is the word describe. Describe can be defined as giving an account in words or pointing out the relevant characteristics, qualities, or events. So basically, describing something is just pointing things out. You are answering what? So, those are the difference between the words explain and describe. And I'm going to, already jump to the end a little bit and say, no, signing agents should not be explaining documents, because that means that the signing agent would be explaining why something is in the documents. However, I do believe that signing agents should be describing documents. Signing agents should be able to point out things in the documents. They should be able to point out relevant things in the document. So, in my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, guys, in my opinion, signing agents should be able to point out the following: loan amount, cash due at closing, interest rate, principal and interest portion of the payment, total payment with escrow, first payment date, scheduled last payment date, prepayment penalty if there is one, late fee terms if there are any, whose name is on the deed, scheduled funding date, the right to cancel terms if there are any, escrow account details, and closing costs on the CD and HUD. These are the most pertinent things that most people who are getting a mortgage want to know. All of those things are clearly listed in the documents for us to point out. So, as a signing agent, you should be able to point out what those things are. So, for example, if a signing agent said, or excuse me, if a signer says, "What is my interest rate?" As a signing agent, you should be able to, I can think of two documents off the top of my head that clearly list what their interest rate is. You should be able to turn to those two documents quickly and point to that area that says what their interest rate is. And as I saw somebody in the chat say, now what you cannot explain is, why is that my interest rate? So if they say, what is my interest rate? You can point to it. If they say, why is that my interest rate? We cannot answer that question. So all of these what questions, all of these things you should be able to point out and describe. So now, and again, I know it's going to get hot in here. It's a little chilly outside, but I know it's going to get hot in here when I make these next couple of statements. So thank you guys for hanging in there with me. But you are not a signing agent just because you call yourself a signing agent. You are only a signing agent if you are able to provide the services of a signing agent. Only if you are able to point out pertinent information in loan documents. So, guys, I've been looking at Grey's Anatomy for like the past 10 years, but that don't make me a doctor. I know lots of the cool terms that I hear them say on TV: code blue, stat, we need an EKG, all of that stuff. None of that makes me a doctor. What would make me a doctor is having the actual training as a doctor and then being able to demonstrate that through my actions. So, guys, it is the same thing with being a signing agent. So, no shade against the NNA, but here's the truth, guys. Just because you pass the NNA signing agent certification exam, that exam does not equip you with the actual skills that you need to be a signing agent. Again, like I said, I know it's some mad folks out there. I'm bobbing and weaving, I'm ducking all the stuff that's being thrown at me, but that's the reality. Because again, it's like I said, the market is going to determine whether or not the skills that you are providing are actual signing agent skills. So again, guys, looking back at our pyramid, you cannot provide notary public service and expect signing agent pay. What do I mean by that? So, in general, a notary public does not travel to the public, right? Notary public usually sits in their office and then the signers come to them. But I will have new people come in who says, I don't want to travel to people. I don't want to go to their house, but I want to make $150 a signing. Okay, but you're not providing $150 level service. There's levels to this thing, guys. You got to level up and you get paid for each level. Now, if you are the type of person who does not want to travel to someone's home, I get it. I understand. I've been in some homes. I've been in a couple hoarder houses. I've been in some nasty houses. It doesn't happen often. I don't want to scare anybody who's new. It's a very, very small majority of homes, but I understand people who don't want to go into houses. But here's the deal. Then you're not a signing agent. You are a notary public, and there is a great demand for notaries public. You can make a lot of money as a notary public, but you're not going to get paid signing agent service money if you're only providing notary public level service. So I like Spider-Man. I like all this stuff. So for any of you guys who are Spider-Man fans, you may remember the saying, with great power comes great responsibility. All right. Well, here's the deal. A lot of people decided that they wanted to become signing agent to make lots of money. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I became a signing agent. But here's the deal. If you want to make a lot of money, you have to provide a great service. Okay. So I also heard someone say that it is not the signing agent's job to do the real estate agent's job, the loan officer's job, the title officer's job in pointing out answers in the documents. And to that, I strongly disagree. Again, it is absolutely a signing agent's job to point out answers in the document. So another thing that I will hear a lot of new signing agents say and be confused about is they'll be like, well, the people who work in title offices are already notaries. They can already do signings. Why would they pay somebody to come in and do a signing? And the reason for that is they are paying you to do their part of the job so that they can do other things. So, for example, because if you guys can't tell, I love giving examples. So I'm gonna give you guys an example. So for example, I live in a home. Any of you guys who live in a home and have a yard know that you have to mow your yard. You got to mow your lawn, right? Especially if you have a homeowners association, you'll get a nasty gram and they'll send you ugly letters if you do not mow your lawn. I am perfectly able and capable by myself of mowing my lawn. But guess what? I don't feel like it. So I pay a lawn service to come out and mow my lawn. I can mow my lawn, but I pay someone else to do it because I don't want to do it, because I want to spend that time and that effort on something else. So I don't mind paying them to perform a service that I can also perform because it frees me up to do something else. But here's the deal. If I pay that lawn service to mow my lawn, and then I go outside and look when they're done and my hedges ain't trimmed and the grass is still up to my knees because I'm short and lawn has not been edged, then they didn't mow my lawn. And I'm not going to continue to pay them for a service that they are not doing. So again, yes, escrow officers, escrow assistants, tons of other people who work in title offices, yes, they are very capable and able of doing loan signings themselves, even their signings in office. The reason why they pay signing agents is for convenience. Loan signings is not all that title does. Title has a lot of other work that they have to do. I'm actually working on getting a few escrow officers to come on live and talk to us to explain to you all of the different stuff that they do. So by us doing those signings for them, even in office, it frees up their time to get the other work done. So now, if they hire you to come in and do these signings, but every 5 minutes, you're coming out asking them questions or telling them to come in and talk to the signers because you don't know how to point out those answers to the questions, then the title officer is going to go, why am I paying you? I'm paying you to do this service for me. If I have to come in here and answer all the questions, then there's no reason for me to use you and there is no reason for me to pay you. So yes, when it comes to pointing out answers in the documents, that is absolutely our job. And then, especially if you want direct business, guys, I found that most of my direct business clients use me for purchase and sales transactions. Now, with that, when somebody buys or sells a home, and some of you may not be homeowners, so you may not know, but when somebody buys or sells a home, there is a purchase contract. And there's a lot of different things that are negotiated in that purchase contract where it says the buyer is going to pay this, the seller is going to pay this. This is how this thing is going to be set up. So when it comes to closing, the buyer and the seller want to see that everything that was agreed upon in that purchase contract is actually taking place at the closing. So, for example, if in the purchase contract, the sellers are supposed to be paying for the home warranty, at the closing table, the buyers are going to say, the sellers are supposed to pay the home warranty. Where does it show me that? You, as the signing agent, should be able to point that out. The contract might also say that the buyers had to give $100 option money to the sellers. The sellers want to see that transaction. So being able to point things out on the CD and the settlement statement are especially crucial for direct business because you will end up doing a lot more buyers and sellers transactions, guys. And these are the type of questions that you will have to answer. Again, if you're doing a signing, but you're having to call the real estate agent, loan officer, or title company every 2 minutes to answer questions that are clearly listed in the documents, they're not going to keep sending you business. All right. So, end of the day, what is my final answer? Should signing agents explain documents? No, they should not explain documents because explaining means answering why. However, I do believe that signing agents should absolutely describe documents, which is pointing out particular information that is in the documents. That's my opinion on it. That's my take on it, guys. And hopefully, for those of you who are kind of wondering and wanting to hear some different thoughts on it, hopefully that has given you some additional clarity on the subject. Now, this is why signing agent training is important. And again, I know that this is another hotly contested subject in the signing agent community. People are like, I don't want to pay anybody for training. I can learn everything I need to learn online. I shouldn't have to pay for training. And again, guys, it's totally up to you whether or not you choose to pay for training. But signing agent training, especially if you have no previous mortgage, real estate, title experience, will help you learn where the answers are in these documents. You can fumble around in those documents by yourself forever, guys. Or you can just go ahead and get somebody with experience in it to show you where those answers are. So look, this is not a sales pitch for my training program, but for those of you who don't know, I do have a signing agent advanced training program. In that program, guys, I have a 2-hour video on just the CD and the settlement statement. I have another 2-hour video on the other mortgage loan documents, okay? I have a full 1 hour of mock closing videos because I know that that's a huge thing for a lot of people. They're like, I want to go on a signing. I want to see how it's done. I want to see what happens. I've got mock closing videos, guys, where I walk you through exactly what happens in a signing. That's the main stuff, learning about documents part of it. But that's not even all that I teach. I've got another 2 hours, guys, where I teach you how to prep the documents and spot issues. Another 2 hours on how to get direct business. Because again, I know that's something everybody wants to know. And then I've got another 3+ hours of additional training as well. But enough about that, guys. If you are interested in my training program, there is a link down in the description box for my signing agent advanced training program. Check it out. You can email me if you have questions. If you decide that you want to get training, I would love to help you out. But again, guys, I'm not here to tell anybody that they are right or that they are wrong. If it's not something that you want to do, you don't have to do it. If you want to go with somebody else, go for it. I always tell people, look at the information that the possible mentor or trainer already has out there. See if their personality works for you, if their teaching style works for you. Are they helping you out before you even pay for anything? And then make your decision from there. Woo! All right, guys. So now, look, we are going to go into the official Q&A portion. I'm going to scroll up and see if I see any questions that got asked. But now, guys, you can go into the chat and see and let me know if you have any particular questions. And again, guys, please stay on task. In this video, I'm only going to answer questions about whether or not signing agents should explain documents. I see lots of people who came from lots of places. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see. Now, somebody did say, or their question, they said you don't have to have a certificate, but they would like that. So I'm assuming that you're asking about the NNA signing agent certification exam. Yes, most companies do like to see that you have it, even though passing that exam really doesn't teach you very much. Many companies do want to see that you have it. And in my opinion, in Texas, it's $70 to take the NNA signing agent certification exam and get the background screening. That's a small price to pay to start off as a signing agent. So, do you have to have it? No. Is it good to have it? Sure. All right, let's see. What else? Yep, we explain the what and not the why. We point out things. We answer what questions. But again, if you are new to this, especially if you've never done your own mortgage transaction, you can't even answer what questions because you don't know where the answers are. And again, that is where the training comes from. Let's see. Somebody asked who pays us for signings. It can be different every time. Sometimes it's the title company, sometimes it's the real estate agent, sometimes it's the signer themselves. Every transaction is different, and that is something that you need to know before you do a signing. I'm not going to answer questions on how to fill out journals in this video because that's not what we're talking about today. How to pick the right paperwork, that is a general notary question. You don't pick out paperwork as a signing agent. You are sent documents to be signed. Let's see. Somebody was saying, what are my thoughts on signing services wanting to pay $50 for a seller's package? So here's the deal, guys. As I explained in the video, the market determines what your value is. I don't worry about what signing services pay because I don't work with signing services. My level of service is so high that I get direct business and I get paid what I want to get paid. So what I always tell people is level up your game. Become a very good signing agent. Become an excellent or above average signing agent. Because guess what? If you are an excellent or above average signing agent, you don't have to fool with signing services. You can go get direct business directly from title companies. But how do I feel about signing services paying that? I'm not mad at them. They're a business. It is their job to maximize their revenue. So, this is going to be another discussion, and I may do another video on it as to reasons why I feel like some of the payment amounts are low and that kind of thing. But, at the end of the day, it's the market. If people are accepting low prices, companies are going to pay low prices. If people are not giving that top level of service, then companies are not going to pay top level money. Let us see. Let's see. What else do we have here? There we go. One of my Facebook people said that their title client asked them to work for them. Why? Because they can describe all the documents and they don't make mistakes. It makes their life easier. Guys, exactly. Because here's the other thing too. People always want to know how to market for direct business. If you're good, business will chase you down. You don't have to go hunting for direct business when you are good. The real estate and mortgage industry is very word of mouth. And when there's a good signing agent out there, other people will want to use you. They will call you. What else do we have here? Should we explain other not as important documents, for example, the occupancy statement? So again, guys, the more knowledge you have, the more valuable you are. Yes, it is good for you to be able to give a description of the occupancy statement. And another thing that I tell people is don't let that word describe make you think that you have to talk a lot. An efficient description of the document, you should be able to describe a document in 1 to 3 sentences. When we get to these other documents, once we get past the important stuff, honestly, you should be able to describe that document in 1 sentence. Okay. So describe does not mean talk a lot. Describe does not mean teach. You should be able to give a quick description of that document. So on the owner occupancy statement, I would say this document says, and then I would point to it, that this is going to be an owner occupied property. Sign here. That is not a long description. It's a sentence, but you still describe the document, because here's the deal, guys. Your closings will go faster and smoother if you give a description of the documents. Somebody asked, what's the best order and how to go through the documents? So I teach that in my Signing Agent Advanced Training Program. I also have a YouTube video, guys, where I talk about the top 5 documents, the most important documents. So check that out on my YouTube channel. It will at least tell you the top 5 documents. Somebody asked, do you have to memorize everything? So I'm going to add to that. Do you have to memorize everything before you get started? No, you don't have to memorize everything before you get started. Again, check out the first 5 documents video on YouTube. I suggest at least knowing those 5 documents. But then here is the key, guys. You need to constantly be leveling up your knowledge and your skills. No, you don't have to have every single document in the world memorized before you become a signing agent, but keep improving your skills. Because again, as you get better and better, your opportunities are going to get better and better, and the amount of money that you can get paid will get better and better. People also always talk about negotiating payment. They'll say, well, I tried to counteroffer, or I tried to negotiate a payment and the company wasn't going for it. And again, please don't get mad, but you can only successfully negotiate if you have a skill that they want. So if you are trying to get, again, top level payment, but your skill is only mid-level, then you're probably going to have a very difficult time getting that payment. So start off where you are, learn those first 5 documents, but then consistently and constantly increase your knowledge, add more and more documents to the documents that you are able to describe. Let's see. What else do we have? Lots of people. All right. Yes, I saw somebody say that errors bring down fees. Yes, guys, the reality is title companies and signing companies are having to build in the fact that more than likely the signing agent is going to make errors, which costs them money. So if they assume that most of us are going to make errors, they're not going to offer as much money. Let's see. I think I've answered most of you guys' questions. Guys, hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know down in the chat. Was this video helpful? Did I help you to understand why I feel it's a good idea for signing agents to be able to describe the documents? If so, go down into the comment section right now and let me know. Also, guys, again, if you did not do so already, please make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell. Like I said, guys, I think I'm going to start doing a monthly live. So if you guys think that's a good idea, let me know. I think I'm going to start doing a monthly live talking about some of these different topics. And if that's the case, you definitely do not want to miss it. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the notification bell. And of course, if you're not already following me on all of my social media, YouTube, Facebook. I've got a Signing Agent Basics Facebook group. I've got Instagram. I've got LinkedIn. I've got TikTok. Make sure that you follow me on all of those socials. Just search for Signing Agent Basics in all of those social media avenues, and you will see my gray hair pop up. But guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really had a great time. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you on the next live. Guys, have a productive and profitable day.